Meeting to order at whatever Fernando's clock says.
5:30.
Quick roll call. Me, I'm here. Mr. Bill, you. Talked to him on the phone. I don't know if he was going to be here or not. Margaret is not here tonight. She does have an excuse. She's sick in the hospital or
Right now, she's in the
convalescent.
nursing home over here.
Okay. How's she doing?
But at least she's doing good. They cleaned up the wounds on the back of her legs. Changed them from black to pink,
Nice.
which is good.
Yeah, that's good.
So she'll be there for 2 weeks.
So we all want to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. Mr. Byers here. Ms. Fall is here. Ms. Strawn.
Here.
Glad to see you.
My husband almost died.
Oh,
He's doing good now.
okay. Well, good. Good. All right. If we would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go around the room real quick for introductions. Start over here.
Mark Azevedo, Police Lieutenant.
Dominic Bartow, Assistant Police Chief.
Bonnie Moore, Parks and Leader Services Inspector.
Fernando Gabriel, Acting Chief Deputy City Clerk.
Dave Rossman, Deputy Fire Chief.
Chelsea Wood, Admin Assistant Fire.
Ryan Cockburn, Fire Chief.
Tricia Whiteley, Assistant Finance Director. Jeannie Rodriguez, Finance Director.
Michael Knight, Assistant City Manager.
Welcome, everyone. Trust you had a good Memorial Day. Made all the proper tributes, flag salutes. As an Army veteran, I really appreciate the city of Porterville. Not only the citizens, but our organizations, our service organizations, police department, fire department, and everyone for the honor that is bestowed upon veterans, especially on Memorial Day, because everybody should be aware that that's totally different than Veterans Day. Veterans Day is the day that we recognize people like me, who's a veteran of the military. Memorial Day is for those who cannot be here with. And I think it's so fitting that Porterville, with the sacrifices that we have made over the years, that it's as patriotic as it is. But very much appreciated by those of us who have served. Okay. Where's a little spiel here? This is the time for oral communications. Any member of the public or anyone would like to address this meeting right now, this is the time and place for it. There being none, move on. How many have you all read your minutes from the previous meeting? Do you have any corrections or amendments to the minutes, or are they seem to fit the bill? Can I take your silences? There's no corrections or amendments?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make the motion, we accept the minutes.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on. Now it's time to review the third quarter measure H. And as always, I'd like to combine measure H and measure I. Review them together for the fiscal year 2024-2025 as of March 31st, 2025. And I had a brief telephone conversation with Chief Costello yesterday, and he and Chief Bartow had already discussed the police department's portion of it. And my review of it and the communication with Chief Costello, everything seems to be appropriate, but I believe that, Chief Bartow, do you have any comment?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. As you said, Chief Costello spoke with you. We went over the expenditure reports for H&I and did not see anything abnormal or out of the ordinary. Just wanted to mention a couple of the ongoing projects and equipment with the committee. For here, I just want to talk about the fact that school will be letting out this week, so our school resource officers are going to be augmenting our SMART team. With that said, we currently have 12 people assigned temporarily to the SMART team. And they're working with a crisis intervention specialist and a community service officer. We've shifted a little bit more into the enforcement phase with the city ordinance prohibiting camping in the city. We have several subjects who our crisis specialist is working with to reunify with family members. The team is focused on enforcement, as previously said. For those who simply don't want to accept services and don't want to apply by law and order, the team continues to make strides with helping people experiencing homelessness who need help. In the first 2 weeks of May, just to give you some idea of what they're doing, since we've almost tripled the size of that team temporarily. They've had 409 contacts, 102 arrests, 125 total warrants served, 58 city ordinance citations, and 201 calls for service specifically to homelessness. Some of the technology that we are currently looking at include a couple of new covert surveillance pole cameras that we purchased through a Jack Burns grant that the chief wrote and was accepted. We use those type of covert cameras on areas of narcotic sales or other habitually targeted areas of criminal activity. For instance, we recently had one of our local auto parts stores that was targeted about 6 times over the last 6 months. So we positioned the pole cameras in that area and have seen a suspect in the area, and they're working on bringing him into custody. We're looking to expand our flock license plate reading cameras throughout the city. We currently have 12. We're looking to expand by 4 more to cover all of the ingress and egress portions of the city. That project is mine, and hopefully we will. We've been approved to use maybe 286 auto theft funds to the tune of about $60,000 over the next 5 years for those additional 4 cameras. They're a huge benefit to us. We read millions of plates a month, literally going past those cameras throughout the city. We continue to work with our staffing levels. We have 3 police trainees who start the academy in the next couple of weeks. And they're all, to my knowledge, they're all relatively local people from Porterville. So they've established their lives here and they have a vested interest in the community and eager to give back. So with that, I'd like to thank Tuta for your time, and the Measure H and Measure I funds continue to provide the very best police and fire service and protection throughout the city. Thank you very much. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. I have a quick questions. I am presuming that SMART is an acronym.
It is Special Methods and Resources Team. I apologize for that.
I talked to a couple of your officers. They were by my house about a week ago, and they were addressing the issues that the SMART unit is addressing. And I said, well, what does SMART stand for? You need to let them know what it stands for. It was kind of one of those, it stands for something, I'm sure.
Yeah, very well. I'll make sure they know.
Yeah, they were doing a good job.
Good. Yeah. We've augmented it currently with some other areas of the department, traffic unit, detectives, trying to get a grasp on things. So things to be working. So
Good. Does anyone have any questions of Chief Bartow? Okay. Thanks, sir.
thank you, sir.
Very good. Fire department.
I spoke with Chief Coburn this afternoon and we went over the budget. Everything looks good. There was a little bit of, I think that one big thing was the patrol that they showed off the last meeting that was parked out front, and then they had a call on it, but that was the biggest thing. But everything else looked perfectly fine, as it always does. So
Yeah, thank you, Sean. And if I could, I'd just like to give just a recap of a little bit about the quarter, also upcoming projects, and then what Measure H and Measure I mean to the fire department. Not sure if everybody in the community knows, but Measure H and Measure I make up roughly 50% of my overall budget, with the other half being made up of the general fund. Measure H and Measure I contribute to the department by providing 24 total positions, as well as capital improvement projects. So big one this year was purchase of the patrol. We have 2 engines and a ladder truck coming at the end of the calendar year. We have broken ground on our new training tower, our live fire training facility. So we hope the forms will go up sometime this next week with the foundation, about a 30-day cure, and then they'll bring in the tower and assemble. We'll be doing some training hopefully by July or August. If it aligns with our next meeting, I'll be sure to invite you guys out there so you can see where the funds have helped our department. Maybe get you fitted for some turnouts too. We'll see.
Or maybe do a little rappelling or something.
Whatever you guys like.
I love rappelling. Yeah. Just climbing back up, that sucks.
Yeah, no one wants to go back up. But then again, so to recap on the H&I funds, a large portion of that, about 3/4 of the funds we receive are for salary and benefits, with about 20 to 25% going to the maintenance operations. So that's where, you know, the utilities, the training, the equipment that we buy. Without Measure H and Measure I, the department would be significantly impacted by a lack of staffing. So wanted to provide that information overall to you, an overall update. Again, the big ones are training tower, the new patrol that received 2 new engines and a ladder truck, as well as the continued planning for the updating of our facilities, station 72 remodel design. The design is done. We're hoping to go out to bid next fiscal year. We're currently working on the design for the remodel of Station 71. Again, those are the catalyst for all our future growth. We don't have a response time issue in the city. We have a manpower on scene issue. So they'll really accommodate that is updating our facilities, creating more living space for our folks, and getting us to our goal of 17 firefighters on day for our daily staffing. So with that, I'm available for any questions.
Anyone have it, Chief Cogburn? Between you and Chief Bartow, any leads on the people that took the tree?
Not that I'm aware of. It doesn't look like the tree is going to survive. We're out looking at today. The root ball was badly damaged, so we're going to be working on a replacement. Some of our folks today planted some temporary flowers out there. For those who don't know, the memorial that we have in front of Station 71, the Jones hydrant, and then the fig tree for Captain Figueroa and firefighter Patrick Jones. The fig tree was damaged this Saturday. Someone ripped it out. We're not sure what
They tried to pull it out, or was
they did pull it out. Yeah, damaged the root system, and we found it several hours after it had been pulled out. So we were going to get it replaced. You know, and we have.
What did they pull it out with? A car?
It was small. It was probably only 6 foot tall.
Oh, okay.
So
There's somebody pulled it out by hand.
Opportunistic. Someone grabbed it and ripped it out by hand. So no, we're working on getting it replaced. And then my apologies for those of you that haven't met my new deputy chief. This is David Rossman. David started with us back in March. He comes from the city of Tulare. He was the division chief, and he filled the vacancy that was left by the retirement of Deputy Chief Scouse. So I'm gonna make sure introduced him today. This is his first TikTok meeting.
You got some big boots to fill. Do you know how to ride a bull?
How to ride a horse, have brand cattle, if that helps.
There you go. That'll work. Head or heel?
I'm the head guy.
That's where the money is. You know, if your header don't catch, you don't need a healer. Good. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone from library here?
Yeah, I'll represent the library tonight. Yeah, so our library staff did reach out to committee member Stinson, and she unfortunately, those health issues, she's not sure yet going forward when she'll be able to, you know, attend another meeting. So we have to keep that updated with the committee, but she wasn't really in the position to talk too much about our expenditures and everything, but I can just give you a brief report on that. As far as our quarter goes, we came in at 57.5%, so it's about 17.5% below our budget. So staff's still doing a great job on that. Really the only expenditure that it's an annual one. It's for called Hoopla, our digital platform. That's the one that if someone noticed on there that a little bit more money, that's like an annual, just a renewal subscription that we've had for multiple years now. Over 7,000 patrons did use that platform this quarter. It's very popular. It has over 800,000 titles of audiobooks, ebooks, music, movies, things like that. So it's very popular. As far as some of the stats for the quarter goes, our virtual story time every Tuesday via Facebook that had 3,353 viewers for the quarter. Continues to be very successful. Our bilingual story time every Thursday, there's 172 participants. We had 240 attend some family literacy services held every Thursday. We have game day and activities mostly on the weekends. That one was 238 participants. Staff held various crafts classes, which there was over 170 participating in that. And then there was 10 school sites visited with our early mobile vehicle. I don't know if you've seen that before, but that made its way around 10 different school sites, elementary schools mostly, doing visitations there and reading. And then lastly, you can't forget the all important Dr. Seuss's birthday, March, with the Read Across America. So there was 186 that went to the library that day just for that event that we had. So those are some of the highlights of the quarter.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I know it's not anything that we deal with here, but just out of curiosity, the pool opened, was it a successful opening?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it starts with the end of the year school parties for the schools that do, and between those and the public rentals, for the entire summer, I think in the first less than an hour, every single slot was filled by the public. So
Nice.
but for the public, they opened this last Saturday and successful opening. Yeah, we had a big renovation project over the last over the winter, and so everything's looking nice and new up there.
Great. How many hats do you wear? How many different little things that
I can't keep track.
that's very commendable that you keep them all
I appreciate it.
sorted out though.
I have good staff, so that definitely helps a lot. Yeah.
Good. Streets. Ms. Falls, do you have anything to do? Aren't you the liaison for streets and highways and byways? No?
This is John and Mr. Villieu.
Oh, okay.
I did reach out later this afternoon, given the 3-day weekend, didn't have opportunity to meet up with the liaisons in regards to streets. However, happy to provide a report if you have any questions, happy to address any questions through the report. Essentially, staff is nearing the end of the fiscal year's self-performed projects. We are about a little over 95% is what I would say. Completing that, the last two final sections would be Westwood, just south of Olive, is a section we'll be working on in June, and we're in the process now of paving Plano from Henderson to Mulberry. So there, if you drive by, staff's out there doing that paving. We accomplished early on the year, we were set to accomplish about 20 lane miles within the city self-performed. However, council challenged staff to come back and try to increase that. And so we were able to come up with an additional 5 miles of paving to do this year. So we'll be scheduled to complete roughly 25 lane miles throughout the city this year. That came at an additional $500,000. You'll see in the expenditure report in the summary, it doesn't quite capture the complete expenditure at this point, but you'll see the update in the next quarter with the shifting of funds. But staff is on track to complete that. Out of the projects, the street projects listed, the 4 primary projects, Villa is near completion. There's some striping to finish up out there and some detail work, and that should be finishing up here shortly. The Morton Avenue reconstruction is under design And portions of that is almost completed with design, and that'll be going out this next fiscal year for implementation. But the other two projects would be the Grand Avenue connection between Fourth and Henrahan and the Main Street parking lot, which is the old J.C. Penney's location. So the design is roughly finished for that. We'll be going out to bid probably just after the fiscal year. And then the project on Henrahan should be wrapping up before the end of the fiscal year, just after. So happy to answer any questions the committee may have.
The parking lot at the Penny's location, you're gonna have to build quite a bridge there, aren't you?
There'll be a box culvert, so basically encasing the slough in a box culvert, and then the parking lot will be constructed on top of it.
That's long overdue.
Make some good use.
Miss J.C. Penney's, but
Yeah,
we sure could use the parking.
some more parking on the.
The construction on the Southern Pacific Railroad, the rails to trails or whatever it's called.
Oilfield stage corridor.
Yeah, is there any way those guys can go back and fix the crossings on the roads?
So it's in the
They're
process.
Horrible.
So there's multiple crossings on those roads. So as soon as
I
they,
know,
as soon
and
as
they
they
were
get-
bad when they patched them and now they've gotten worse.
Yeah, they will be repaired.
They're still in progress.
Thank you. Nobody talking to you, all right?
Slow down.
Did Major I is also covers the litter abatement and anything?
So that is essentially a contract with CSET, and that's the efforts along the highway.
And they're
They're
keeping
keeping it clean.
it. Good job. Good job. Does anyone have anything else to contribute, to discuss with a Major H or Major I issues? Okay, right now, do we have a motion to approve the Major H report? Motion. Second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on the reports? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Major H report has been approved. And Measure I. We have a motion to approve the report on Measure I.
Make a motion to accept it.
Bless your heart. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Anybody else have anything else that they would like to bring up or discuss or throw out on the table? Other matter?
Just to provide some additional information, generally this is a meeting where the committee would have the opportunity to review next year's budget. However, council is in the process of making a decision to extend the budget until October. We'll be going to council to start the public hearing process on the 3rd for the decision to be made on the 17th.
Yeah, I had in my brain, Mr. Cree might show up tonight to discuss that with us, but I guess he's not gonna make it.
He had, his son was graduating from high school tonight, so he was.
Where's his priorities?
So just want to make sure the committee knew that.
Yes, so that-
Okay.
And the budget will be-
I guess we'll forgive you this time. Next meeting, did you get my message? Fernando, I left a message on your phone.
No, I haven't got it yet.
Okay, I have June 24th penciled in for our next meeting.
No, so the next meeting, I believe, will happen sometime in August. Like the later part of August.
May, June, July, August. Okay, that works.
That would probably align better with the budget calendar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see the preliminary along with the fourth quarter.
26th? Does that work?
Let me,
26 work for me.
August 26th? See, if you checked your messages, we could have had that squared away.
yeah, no, that's, right now it looks fine to me. I don't know. if Anybody has any?
It's good.
Keep our toes, either checking his Facebook or seeing if it's okay for him.
Chief Costello and I will actually be out of the area at a training, but We can make arrangements with other captain names, Captain Moore.
Okay.
Does that work with?
That works with budget timeline.
Very good. There being no,
Any particular location, we're just keeping it here?
pardon?
Keeping it here, or are we going to?
This is fine with me unless we get an invitation to go get hamburgers and hot dogs from the place.
Yeah, we'll have a good idea of the construction of our tower, so maybe, if that works out, we can get hosted somewhere else. So I'll let Fernando know ahead of.
Okay, so whatever, wherever Chief Cogburn wants us to meet, that's where we're.
Sounds good.
We did, just really quick answer to your question earlier, we did have a subject who was seen on video surveillance acting erratic at the time that the big tree was pulled out of the ground. So we did make an arrest, Smart made an arrest that day.
Oh, good.
He wasn't charged with the vandalism of the tree itself, but pretty good indication that he's probably involved, but he denied it, but we did make an arrest.
Good. Good. At least let them know that somebody's watching.
Yes.
There are consequences. Okay, there being nothing further, meeting adjourned.